And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on, I almost forgotten the date. It's Wednesday, the 25th of June, isn't it, Ollie?
Yep, it is.
That's what happens.
Too much time in London, your head's...
Yeah. I've just been having actually breakfast with a client who also has a house down in Cornwall. And I said, when are you coming down, mate? And he looked at my face and said, pretty soon, looking at your face. You've got a good tan there, Andrew. Anyway, I am in town today. I'm in town tomorrow. And then getting the train back down. It's too hot in town. Anyway, look, let's have a look at mining news this morning. Actually, there's not a lot of mining news. I mean, there's a lot of activity in this market. But at the moment, there's a couple of deals in the E&P sector, one of which we did, which was Prospects Energy. We raised them 1 million, but we've got a wrap offer going on as well, which I think will raise quite a lot more. Zephyr Energy's just raised 10 million. So that space has got a lot of activity. And the other thing is, I'm just going through the RNSs this morning. Everybody is opening up a Bitcoin treasury account and watching their share price go through the roof. So all you've got to do is open up a Bitcoin treasury account and your share price will go through the roof. So that's sort of the game in town. But also, actually, we are starting to see a little bit of life in one or two of what I describe as those almost forgotten junior miners, where people are not picking on them would be the wrong word, but they're just picking up on them and going, well, this is the wrong price. We can actually get this to double or triple. And it's becoming a bit of a game, I think, in the market. So if you've got some rather bashed up junior mining stock, hold on to it, because someone will focus in on it. And suddenly, before you can say Jack Robinson, it'll be worth 5 times what it is today. Sorry, that's my sort of quick summary of what's going on in the market at the moment. What do you think of all of that, Ollie?
well, I mean, we've had sort of couple of months where certainly on the TSX there have been significant deals announced every week, raising 10-20 million, mostly for precious metal companies, and they're the bigger ones with sort of 100 million market cap. They are still sort of exploration or development stage, but they're the better known ones and more advanced. So they've been getting interest after the majors started to move at the start of the year. So yeah, maybe the smaller companies which have been trapped and rather forgotten for a while now are starting to look interesting, as they're the group that hasn't moved.
Yeah, I mean, butting in, so that was part of where my thing was. I was ran with a Canadian group yesterday afternoon who are sort of active in about 10 junior mining companies on the TSXV. And they were saying to me, Andrew, why do you bother with AIM in these sort of markets? The TSXV is so much better. But they were talking through the price movements of the sort of 10 stocks that they work with. And all of them have gone through the roof. Now, the point is the TSXV tends to lead the game when it comes to mining. They're much smarter at it than us over here in London, even though we're sort of known as a bit of a mining centre for capital, but it tends to be the bigger ones. And that's what I'm feeling. Canada is moving quite rapidly, and it will follow through across the Atlantic to London at some stage. So I think we can all get a little bit of anticipation that there could be quite a lot of excitement coming our way.
Yeah, and the Bitcoin thing works both ways as well, and I think there's starting to be more correlation between the two sectors. I can't say I'm a big proponent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but Panther Metals announced this morning that they've used warrant proceeds to buy 1 Bitcoin, and as one of these trapped, £5 million exploration companies, I think you've got to. It's worth trying something different. So good luck to them. And obviously, coming the other way, we talked about Tether, which is probably the biggest crypto company, taking a position in elemental royalties, and the share price there has done really well since they became the largest shareholder, taking the position from La Mancha, with the implication that they're going to be able to fund the growth that Elemental wants to deliver.
Ollie, you're Gen Z. Surely you're into all this Bitcoin stuff. I mean, I'm the old one that doesn't
Not
understand
quite.
it all. Come on. But yeah, there is quite a lot of connection in a way between cryptos and mining. There's actually quite an interesting connection. It's interesting though. So just going back to my little theme, that the group that I was talking about, this Canadian group, they do actually they are very actively involved in one AIM listed company, which is Empire Metals. I mean, for what it's worth, Empire Metals year to date is up 338%. So they're getting that sort of ride, and that's the sort of return that I think we'd all quite like, isn't it? So, I mean, Empire has obviously done very well, but it's got a real head of steam up because it's got international investors having a look at it. And this is, we need others will follow, I think, should we say. Silence on that one, Ollie.
No, actually, Empire came up yesterday.
How it's performed, aren't you? Like, why didn't we all have that? Yeah.
No, actually, Empire came up in conversation yesterday with someone I was talking to. Was one of the few success stories so far. Obviously, they're still exploration and got to prove their process, but one of the few stocks in London that has really got a sort of multi-bagger performance and maintained it. Greatland has managed to sustain that through into and turn themselves into a proper company. Adriatic looks like it will and get taken out and sort of complete that story, but there aren't that many real success stories.
No, but I mean, a few others that we watch. I mean, one on the TSXV we watch very closely and we're interested in is Millennium Potash because we like the potash market. Just as a clue, that's up 300% year to date, which is amazing. And of course, although it's sort of a false market at the moment, Tungsten West is actually up 100% year to date. Now, they did announce the other day, obviously, they're doing this tranche H, and it said if you've got interest, do ring Hannam and Partners to participate in it. It was an interesting RNS. Actually, I can tell you right now, demand for the equity is really strong. They don't need to do another bond because a bond is sort of buy one, get one free, plus a 20% coupon, plus security and everything else. You can actually just raise money through the equity market for that one because it's a hot stock. Anyway, that's another. We talk about that stock far too much. Sorry, I apologise. I shouldn't even gone there. My apologies. Sorry. Scratch that from the record, so to speak, my lord. Right. There isn't much news actually. Should we call it a day there, Roddy?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Speak tomorrow.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.